Welcome back to Marriage Hot Takes. Thank you for taking time to join us. We are your hosts, Aaron and Kim Degler. We just share with you each week a little bit of what we learned over the last 22 years of marriage, some of the takeaways, the lessons we've learned. We just want to share those each week with you. And this week we're going to talk a little bit. I don't know if you remember. Do you remember? I know you will.
I might.
So you like late night TV, right?
Mm-hmm.
You remember Johnny Carson?
Yes.
One
of my favorites.
You remember when Johnny Carson used to get this, it's kind of like a fortune teller hat?
Yes.
And
yes.
And he would hold something up to his head and it would be a mind reader.
Yeah.
And I don't really remember the skit, but I just can see him sitting there at his desk with Be a Star. Remember John? No. What was his co-host name?
Ed McMahon, and it wasn't Be a Star.
What was it?
Called Star Search.
Star Search. It was a star something.
Be a Star.
Be a Star.
Ed McMahon.
Ed McMahon. Also Publishers Clearinghouse.
You got it.
Yeah.
That's what they tell us. Now they say that wasn't it. That's a Mandela effect.
Publishers Clearinghouse?
He didn't do Publishers Clearinghouse.
Really?
I know.
He was on the commercials.
Breaking information.
He was on the commercials.
They say he wasn't. It was a different thing. I know. He showed up at the doors. This is a whole other day.
So
a whole other thing.
So if you want to know about Mandela effect, just go Google. It's easy to find. It's very interesting. Back to Johnny Carson and
Ed McMahon.
They both were on.
They were
Tonight Show. There's no Mandela effect there. Yes.
With Johnny Carson.
Yes, and so he'd try to be a mind reader, and it was just a funny skit.
Yeah.
But and he would usually get it right because it's a skit.
He knew ahead of time.
It's for sure. But I think sometimes in marriages we expect that.
Well, why wouldn't we?
We expect that the other person can read our mind.
Yeah. Tell me what I'm thinking right now.
I can't say those things on camera.
You're right. How'd you know?
But that's what we expect.
Yes.
And so, and what happens when the other person doesn't read our mind?
Well, then it might cause some resentment because, why didn't you do those things? And you say, I didn't know I was supposed to. Well, why wouldn't you know? It was just expected because it was in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, because I think sometimes we've been married 22 years. We know couples that have been married longer, couples that have been married less. And I think if we ask all of them, I bet none of them sat down at the beginning of their marriage and say, these are expectations of our marriage.
I have written down all these things I want to share with you.
Yes.
This is the expectation.
This is because don't we? I mean, I think we both went into the marriage with expectations.
Of course, we did.
And our biggest problem was we went in with expectations and we forgot to share it with the other person.
Oops.
And so, but yet we get bent out of shape when they don't meet those expectations.
Yes.
But
they didn't know.
They didn't know
what the expectations were.
So we were, I was expecting you to act in a certain way or say something in a certain way.
And how do you find out that you didn't meet those expectations?
That I didn't, or
I didn't. How does one find out that they didn't meet the expectations?
Well, usually it results in an argument.
Well, because you find out that was the expectation, and you weren't told ahead of time.
You didn't know.
You didn't know. Trial and error.
Because
in school they let you know all the rules ahead of time.
In college,
you have
we have a syllabus.
A syllabus.
So I don't even know if they still do that, but I think you do because I have a client that she still teaches. And I think she does a syllabus. But you get a syllabus, and basically the syllabus says this is the expectation. If you want to make the grade, whatever grade you choose, this is how you do it. Mm-hmm. This is what we're going to do week 1, week 2, mm-hmm. week 3. This is how we're going to progress. All the things. It's basically your whole plan.
What if you had a syllabus of this is what we're going to do year 1, year 2, year 3, year of your marriage. By year 50, wonder what the expectation will be that year.
Yeah.
Huh.
And then because I mean, and the longer you're married, I think the less people plan. I mean, now plan as in, okay, we want to reach these certain goals financially, or with the kids, or with house, or whatever it is.
Mhm.
But I don't think we necessarily set relationship goals
Right.
and expectations.
Mhm.
Um, hey, we have a busy season right now with kids. We're going to all kinds of sports. Crazy, it's just crazy. What do we want our marriage to look like when we're empty nested?
Mhm.
What do we want to? And for us, we just hit that by random luck, dumb luck, really.
Very much so.
It's not that we knew anything.
Not at all.
The thing we just knew was that one day we would be empty nesters, and we wanted to like each other.
Well, and I think that one reason why that was important to us is because we didn't start a marriage without children, so we didn't have time without kids. So we knew when they did leave, this is kind of what we wanted to look like because we'd never had it.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's a little different, probably, than maybe
yeah,
somebody on their first
marriage
their
when
first
maybe
marriage.
they had 5 years before they had children.
Yeah, and we didn't have it.
Yeah.
And so we did know that we wanted it to look like that.
Mm-hmm.
But with those expectations, how often do we have conversations about those expectations before they come up?
Not very often.
Because a lot of times, I mean, an expectation we carry into a marriage is maybe something we experience at home, maybe with parents,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe we experienced with a previous marriage,
Mm-hmm.
or a previous relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
the expectation of, he'll be the fixer. He'll fix all the things.
Mm-hmm.
Newsflash, he's not.
Yeah, and if you were to get mad at me for not fixing anything, well, why? Well, I didn't know I was supposed to,
Didn't know I was
because I
supposed to do
never
that.
have done that before,
Right.
and we didn't talk about that,
Right.
but yet,
And you didn't grow up with that.
mm-hmm. And the resentment comes from not discussing it.
Right.
It's like, I can't believe she is not doing that.
That drives me crazy when he doesn't do what he should be doing.
Because
And you don't know it.
and I didn't know it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, why is she upset? I mean, I didn't know how to fix anything, but I didn't know what she wanted me to do about it.
Yeah.
And so over the years, that resentment grows, and because we go into the marriage with an expectation, and then we still never have the conversation about it.
Right.
And then the little bit of resentment that could have been squashed, he said, hey, why don't you do that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, because I don't know how, or I didn't know that's what you wanted me to do.
Right.
I didn't know I was supposed to take out the trash.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
You never asked me to do those things.
You never asked me to do it. And that's the thing too. It's not, and not only ask, but how do you ask? Are you ever going to take out the trash, or is that just something you don't do?
Right. Instead of saying, is there any way you could take out the trash today?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe don't throw in the today, because then that makes it sound like, because you've never done it before. Just thought I would ask if you could at least do that today.
Yeah.
Maybe just say, hey, could you take out the trash? Hey, it'd be great if you could take out the trash for me. It'd help me a lot today.
Yes. And or how we say our words, because we all have a tone.
We do.
Whether we want to admit,
and your spouse knows your sarcastic tone.
Yes.
You may not realize they really do know it, but they know the sarcastic tone.
And we've all been there like, what? Like our kids. What? I was just saying it.
I was just saying it. I didn't mean anything different.
And your spouse knows, without a doubt.
They do.
You're
not being sneaky.
No matter how much you go, no. But it's talking about those expectations of what is it you want me to do. It's as simple as if you each have if you share a bathroom sink, and one person's super messy, and go, he or she never cleans up or never throws anything in the trash.
Yes. I while we're on that subject, I'm not going to call you out. We're both very good about that. But I had just saw a TikTok, and I have this kind of blew my mind a little bit for a couple of reasons. The guy was talking about how women, and his wife was included in that, complain about leaving, like doing their beard and leaving beard clippings on the sink. And we all know that women complain about that. I mean, that's a given. They're going to be like, clean up after yourself. And he compared it to this, and I was like, do women do that? About the hair in the shower drain, and how, women wash their hair and they in the hair, and then it gets, and I was like, do women leave hair in the shower? Women, do better. If you do that, do better. Get the hair. I mean, every time you wash your hair, and take it out, because you want your husband to clean up his beard trim. We don't need to be doing that. Clean that up. Clean up after yourself.
It goes both ways.
It goes both ways.
Because there's probably men that get in the shower that go,
oh my gosh, there is a mouse down there. No, it's just my wife's hair again. Don't be gross. That was my soapbox. I saw that TikTok and thought, what? Huh? Clean that up.
Clean up, men. Clean your stuff up.
Yeah, clean your stuff. That is the expectation.
Yes.
It shouldn't need to be said, but
so us, we would think the expectation is keep it clean.
What do you mean?
But apparently some men, some women, some spouses,
and maybe one spouse is doing and the other is not, and that is an expectation that's probably not spoken about. But wow.
So, so just something happened today. I have to share that I was showing an exercise in class today with a hurdle, and so I said, you can choose.
And the hurdles are what everyone in class loves.
Yeah, a hurdle's like a 6-inch thing that you can jump over and go back and forth.
We jump every kind of way there is.
Yeah, so I gave a choice. You can choose how you want to do the hurdle.
And we have probably 15 choices.
Yeah, and I put your choice. I didn't go through all of them because everybody pretty much knows. And so in the first class this morning, somebody started there, and I look and I'm helping somebody else, and I turn around, and it's a plastic hurdle. It's like
on the ground.
On the ground, and so they're picking it up and pressing it overhead. Like that's the exercise they chose. And so they were being funny.
If you're watching, this is what it is.
Yes, pressing up overhead. Yep. And so I laughed and I thought, oh, that was funny. Because
your expectation.
My expectation was that you would do some sort of jumping movement over it. It never crossed my mind that was an option.
And they showed you it was.
And they showed me it was. And I thought,
well,
that's a valid point. Mm-hmm. Because I said,
you didn't
choose. I said, hurdle, you choose. That was the instructions on the board.
Yeah.
And
expectation.
And so that would be like me turning around going, are y'all stupid?
Yes.
Can you not read?
We did read. It
said,
did read. Your choice.
And so I can't. So I.
This was my choice today, is what that person said.
Yeah. So immediately I was like,
okay, valid.
Yep. I can't. If that's what you want to do, go for it.
What the young kids say now is that tracks.
That tracks. There you go. That tracks. Mm-hmm. And so the same thing is true.
I don't know if that's the young kids or not, but heard it. I've heard it
but
said.
In our relationships, we won't look at the other person and go, yeah, okay, you're right. We'll go, how would you get that exercise out of that? That's pretty dumb. I can't believe that. What a moron. I swear.
I can't. He cannot figure out life.
And then so they go on and do a little something else a little day, and you go, I swear. And it just, that resentment.
And then there's this. I swear.
And if you watch Back to the Future, what did Biff always do?
McFly.
Hello, McFly.
Hello, McFly.
Whack, whack, whack.
Yes. Sorry, that might have been loud.
So the problem comes with not communicating the expectations, and then if that's not done, okay, but you then holding it in and having resentment, because that resentment grows. And when the resentment grows, it is like a wedge, and it is a separator. So it widens the gap between your relationship
Yes.
because it's that one thing, and then
And
there's
then
another
thing. And then we add another thing, and it just gets wider and wider. So this is the ghost.
And so it's we talk about this often, but the communication is important. And if you're listening and you're about to get married or you're newly married, and if you're 5 years in, what do you want marriage to look like in 10 years, in 5 years, next year?
Even if you're 22 years in, you can still say, how do we want this to look in 25 years, in 30 years?
Mm-hmm. I was listening to a sermon this week, and the preacher, he was younger, he's in his mid-30s. He was talking about, I think he'd been married 14 or 15 years, and him and his wife still, they go to counseling. And he said, before you get all worked up over that, since I'm a pastor, we do that for the health of our marriage, and we have done that for a long time.
Proactive.
It's being proactive. Just like the planning is. If you're planning for retirement and you're 20 years old, that is being proactive to take care of your life in later years.
Mm-hmm.
So doing the things to be proactive for your marriage to help it prosper at 5 years, at 10 years, at 15 years, at 25 years,
mm-hmm.
at 50 years. It takes that intentionality of how do we want that look? How do we want our relation? How are we going to communicate?
Mm-hmm.
What are we going to do? Mm-hmm. What expectations do we have as different seasons change? Mm-hmm. And maybe it's not even long term. Maybe it's sometimes it can be month to month. Hey, you have a heavy workload this month,
mm-hmm.
and these are what I'm going to take from you. So you don't have to worry about it. So now he or she knows the expectations of the other, that they can expect them to help a little bit more or do a little bit. I mean, so the expectations can go back and forth. So during those seasons, there's no resentment building up.
Yeah. And sometimes it doesn't need to be, hey, I see that you have a heavy workload this month. Sometimes it can be, hey, I have a heavy workload this month. Is there any way that for this month you could take on X, Y, and Z, whatever that might be? Could you take on paying the bills? Could you take on, whatever your job might be, the one little job, small job that you could help me with these things?
Without the response being, sure, I'll take on another thing.
Okay, I'll add that to my list. It doesn't need to be ugly.
And
it just needs to be, he's asking or she is asking, and I know it's probably takes a lot to ask. So in turn, I'm going to be responsive of saying it this way. Yeah, let me do that for you. Is there another way that I could help too?
Mm-hmm. And then in turn, if let's say he's asking her, and that she's picking up a little bit extra load, in turn he takes a towel and just wipes off the sink when he's done.
How about it?
Just a quick thing that didn't take him anymore.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean,
and at the same time, that doesn't mean like, okay, great, she just took on 5 extra jobs for me this month, and it doesn't need to then be a year later. She's still doing those jobs because I needed her to do it that month.
And so
you need to reevaluate the next month and be like, okay, things have slowed down a little bit. I could take those back. She may be like, or he may be like, I got it. It's no big deal. Mm-hmm. Okay, you can move on.
And part of those expectations are you share what maybe you need and say, we'll talk about it in a couple weeks or a month or however long. Mm-hmm. So there is an expectation you've already agreed upon that in a little bit of time, a set time, you're going to discuss that again.
But it all goes back to communication. You got to communicate.
You got to communicate.
Because you're not going to be able to do like Johnny Carson and read what's on my mind.
And men or women, it would not be a good idea to get a Johnny Carson mind reader helmet, and when the other person says something, oh, hang on, and put on your helmet and just look at it.
Yeah.
Like I have not, that's not good.
No.
But like you're sitting there right now, we have roughly about 80,000 thoughts that go through our head a day.
I have 82,000 right now.
82. There's no way that I can tell right now what is going through your mind. It's just not possible. So
Mhm.
the only way we know what's going on with each other is if we communicate and we talk
Mhm.
and share those expectations, and then we can move forward and discuss those expectations. I don't think that's. I think that's a little much. I think that's too. And you can work it out
Yeah.
and have that. So as always, we like to leave you with a hot take. This is where you were gearing up. You
It
already
is.
know it.
No, I don't.
Oh,
I
you
was
act like
just
you
gonna
just.
say, along with that hot take, men, clean up your beard hair, and women, get your hair from shampoo day out of the shower trap because
Get your mouse out of the trap.
yes, because well, that's disgusting. So you got a double today.
I think that's going to be a clip. Get your mouse out of the trap.
Get your mouse out of the trap because it's disgusting. Today's hot take: unspoken expectations are premeditated resentments.
Can you read that one more time?
Well, of course I can, because there's a hard word in there and it makes me have to stop and stumble on it every time. So hold on. Today's hot take: unspoken expectations are premeditated resentments.
So without knowing it, without communicating those expectations, you're premeditating. You're planning for resentment.
Right.
You're being proactive for resentment.
Yes. Because I already have this all in my head and I need you to read my mind and know exactly what I want you to do today. Would be like me saying, oh, I thought tomorrow he might want to take me out, but never expressing that to you.
And so I get home and sit down and
it would be like what I always say, Friday night blues. It'd be like, you come home on a Friday and then I'm like this, all dolled up and ready to go. All dolled up, ready to go for the weekend. And you come home and go, man, I had a week. Oh, okay, we're not doing anything.
we're just sitting here.
And then I would be mad at you for doing that. And you would be like, what? Why is she mad?
What I do?
What I do? Nothing. Nothing, dear.
In that tone.
Yeah, and that's how it would go.
And then, and then just builds.
Yeah.
And so without having that communication, the resentment, you are planning for resentment.
Yes.
It may not be immediate, but over time, repetitive, it will create a wedge in your relationship. But as we always say, communication is, if you can say, what's one successful thing to a relationship, marriage, it's communication. Because when that stops, there's trouble is
it's brewing.
Late. Yeah,
trouble's brewing.
Usually already late when communication stops. Mm-hmm. So, thank you so much for joining us on this week's Marriage Hot Take. We hope that you take this hot take into your relationship, into your marriage. It starts a conversation. It adds value to your relationship and improves your relationship. And that's what we're going to do each week, is just add value. If you find value, please share it with someone you know that could gain the value from it as well. But we would like to share that with them. So thank you again so much for joining us on this week's Hot Take. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Kim.
And we'll see you next time.